Heavy eclipse season. What a time to be alive, isn't it? This looks like a whole ass mess with this Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is ruling the full moon lunar eclipse that we have this week in Virgo. And, you know, there's something that is a little bit exciting about it, even if it also looks like a mess. It's still, there's something about it that is likely to give us a lot of yes signals. And so this is interesting. There's something to unpack here. So let's think with this for a little bit. First up, what's up everybody? It's your boy Zamboni. If you want to get into astrology reading, you can go to zambonifunk.com. If you want to learn how to do astrology, you know where to find me. This week we have this big eclipse, right? And it looks like it wants to be historically relevant. It looks like it wants to be a really big deal. And what's interesting here is that the sun this week is in Pisces and is making this trine to Jupiter in Cancer. The sun and Jupiter are homies. They really like it. They like hanging out together. They like working together. A trine is a friendly kind of aspect. They work together really well. They support each other in some sort of way. And so with this sort of situation here, and if we think about the sun as being like the king or the sovereign, the emperor or something like that, the one who's like in charge, the power player, right? Then Jupiter in Cancer is going to be an advisor who is going to be like, yeah, dude, whatever you say, that sounds good to me. Jupiter is sending a lot of yes signals. Jupiter is really powerful in Cancer. Jupiter is really good at doing Jupiter stuff in Cancer, and Jupiter's job is to say yes to the king sometimes. And so that is what we see going on here. And we see that happening. And so Jupiter also rules Pisces, so rules where the sun is at. This is Jupiter really able to deliver a lot of blessings and nourishment and excitement and encouragement to the Pisces things, where the sun is, and where also we see Mercury retrograde. And so there's all of this, yeah, do it more, big it up, make more of the stuff happen. While this eclipse is happening, the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, the full moon is opposite to that. And while that's happening, Mars is also moving into Pisces, right? And so Jupiter is saying yes to Mars also. And the moon looks wildly uncomfortable in this eclipse position in Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury retrograde in Pisces, so that looks like it's extremely confused. So what I'm feeling like here is this looks like a lot of yes signaling, especially toward power plays, especially toward the ones who are in charge, right? And so at the geopolitical level, we could think about this as like kings or presidents or whatever, but like if you are in charge of your thing, whatever your thing is, then you are the one that this is targeting, right? Like I know that there are no billionaires watching my program. And so what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about regular people. I'm talking about folks on the block. You know what I mean? And so if you're running your thing, if you're the person in charge of the space, then this applies to you. And so there's a lot of strong yes signaling going on, but Mercury retrograde in Pisces suggests that a lot of this is confused in some kind of way, operating on bad information, maybe not considering second and third order consequences that can happen here, right? Mercury retrograde is all about delays and miscommunications and stuff not, wires getting crossed, stuff not being well understood. I've been talking about how great Mercury retrograde in Pisces is going to be for arts and stuff like that. Going to be really good for making music and melodies and poetry and stuff like that. But when it comes to executive function, there's going to be a lot of yes to executive function, right? There's a lot of, with Mars there also, Mars is really good at moving and making stuff happen. And Mars is the action planet, so there's something that wants to push on stuff to get it moving. And the sun and Mars, they're not exactly buddies, but they do, when it's time to move on something, they can agree on that. And when Jupiter's over there being like, yeah, dude, do it up, then there's going to be a lot of ability to move on stuff. But it doesn't look like the landscape is well understood in this moment. So it's going to be really easy to start a situation that turns into something that it looks muddy. You know what I mean? Like if we think about Mercury retrograde in Pisces, Pisces is this is water, right? And I often think about Mercury in a water sign as being really good at impression, at listening and reading and stuff like that, and being less good at writing or expression or speaking, especially speaking like coherently. This is why I always talk about poetry, because it does really well in this sort of like oblique speech, but speaking directly to a thing doesn't really do a good job on that. So when you're looking at executive function, then you being able to shoot straight is a really important move here. And that's not really happening. Everything is confused. I don't feel like we have a clear understanding of what is actually happening right now. And so my thought here is play conservatively this week. Do not overplay your hand. It's going to be really easy to get out over your skis because you saw something and you were like, yeah, I'm going to move toward it. And then the thing that I always say during eclipse season is your arms are too short to box with dragons. So eclipses are associated with dragons. They are, the North Node is currently in Pisces and the South Node is currently in Virgo. The North Node is associated with the head of the dragon. It gobbles stuff up. It tends to do more of whatever it touches. The South Node is the tail of the dragon. It does less of whatever it touches. It's trying to evacuate, trying to get rid of things in some kind of way. So the moon in Virgo, the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on the South Node is going to be trying to get rid of something in some kind of way, right? Trying to clear things out, do less of something. And meanwhile, the sun on the North Node is going to be like, yeah, give me more. I want more stuff, more. And so the dragons, I really like, the dragons are, they show up in a lot of different styles of mythology. I really love Ursula Le Guin. I think that Ursula Le Guin is the most brilliant mind of, I don't know, like the modern era or something like that. She's amazing. And the way that she treats dragons in Earthsea, if you haven't read Earthsea, you should probably stop listening to this video right now and go get a copy of A Wizard of Earthsea and start that journey. But the way that she treats dragons in that series is they are the keepers of time, and they are the keepers of the true language that is beyond sort of the pale. It's beyond the veil. It's beyond anything that humans are capable of understanding. And so sometimes dragons will show up and then you just gotta deal with that shit. They're frequently chaotic, at least to a human understanding. They blow shit up in a way that you wish that they wouldn't, and there's just nothing, your arms are too short to box with dragons, okay? And so eclipses are associated with dragons. And so a lot of times, like baby witches will see eclipse energy and they'll be like, oh, it's so powerful. Like I should try to do some magic during this time. I should leave my crystals out under this full moon and this kind of thing. I think this is a terrible idea. I don't think that you should do that because, think about lunacy. Lunacy means like insanity, right? It is associated with the moon, Luna, right? That is, or you can think about werewolves also, right? Like the full moon comes out and it makes you crazy. This kind of thing is what we're gonna see with all this. And so trying to harness this energy, trying to ride a dragon or something like that, trying to take a dragon and be like, oh, you're gonna do my bidding. Like, no, it's not. This dragon is not going to do what you think it should. I know Disney made a real cute movie about training dragons and stuff like that. That's not what we're looking at right now. It's gonna be too much power for the situation. And so this is what I mean by play conservatively. Do not get out over your skis on this one. It's going to be really easy to do that with Mars and the Sun and Jupiter all being like, yeah, let's go, let's do more of it. Meanwhile, the moon is wildly uncomfortable. The moon is going to be opposite to Mars for a bunch of the week, and it's going to be opposite to the sun and all the whole eclipse thing. And the eclipse is pretty exact this time. It's like 3 degrees off the nodes or something like this. It looks like a big one. So be easy with things, you know? Make art. Think about is there another perspective? Is there another way for me to think about this thing? Is there another way that someone else, maybe even my enemies, might think about this thing? Because even my enemies will frequently make good points, and I need to be aware of what they're talking about in order to get a coherent idea of the landscape.